Let's go.
That shit's weird, nigga. Bunch of dudes in there. We got a video to play though.
All right.
Probably checked out as soon as I had my son. Never planned to be a mother, but I thought when becoming a mother, I would have a partner. I learned quickly after giving birth that he looked at me as a 1960s, like, you cook, you clean, you take care of the child, and I am the provider, I work. And so when I would ask for help, it was just flat out no. And I started feeling like a single mother and a single woman in the marriage. I was convincing myself to stay, and it just got to a point where I was like, no, if I'm by myself, I might as well be by myself. I would say I probably checked.
Ladies, you just saw the video.
Is that a valid reason for getting divorced, ladies?
Yeah. Of course.
All of you think?
She's
Okay.
not happy.
Raise of hands if you guys think it's a valid reason to get divorced. Raise of hands. Is that a full panel?
It is.
All of them.
Because she's not happy.
See, this is why women are. So, this is the issue. This is the problem. It's already hard enough to find a provider. It's hard enough to find a guy that's going to take care of you, etc. We know from looking at studies that two-parent households are by far one of the most important factors in a child growing up and not being a piece of shit to society.
Yeah.
Not being a criminal, drug user, alcoholic,
School shooter.
vagrant.
Everything.
Yeah, it's like you 86% less likely to go to prison. Like, the father not being in the household is one of the leading factors in kids being fucked up. So, a woman having a kid in the child rearing years where, yeah, it's gonna suck, right? And raising that kid by herself while not having to worry about bills, thinks that it's appropriate to leave the husband, leave the father of the child, and just break up with him and break up the family. And this kind of goes to show this is the issue with feminism. Feminism tells women to prioritize their happiness instead of duty. Like, there's a lot of unhappy situations with marriages, but once you got a kid, bro, like, you got a fucking kid. It's called till death do us part. Like, and I find it interesting how women want to be married, but they don't want to be wives.
Alright, so that's the video. It just really surprised me. It kind of reflects back on my baby mama relationship. You know, like, as many guys in the Western world will go through passport bros or married to a foreign girls, and, you know, they're doing well. And to hear this is basically, I just saw how my partner, like, at the time, who only helps their sisterhoods and the family and the house chores. The moment that she moved out on her own house, or perhaps in her, what's that word? Not in her own house, but moved back to her sister. And when we had a kid, you know, when I was a provider, she dropped everything, of the house chores and everything. But she'll listen to her mother, her sister. But she won't listen to me. And, you know, that's where I get frustrated, right? Then I said to myself, maybe I'll go too harsh on her. Maybe because she gone through personality depression. And month to month, year by year, it just gone like that. It just doesn't change. And it just that basically means that it doesn't respect me. Whether you call it leader of the household or breadwinner. And her family was pushing my partner to go get a job. And I was just only encouraged her to work 2 days a week so I can, you know, look after the child. And as it turns out, they pushed her to work full time. And that didn't last long. And that at that age, my daughter was supposed to be breastfeeding. So when I look back in my relationship and when I get to see this whole thing, and I'm only saying for example, because of the matriarchal family system. They laughed at me, everything what I provide and what I said to them, to my partner. They all laughed at it because my goal is to protect them. And, you know, not to get on debts, and we just got a child. And I guess this FOMO is really real for them. And looking at this video and realizing many modern women who has kids doesn't want to do a house chore. And many men will come back home and do all the house chores after they're working, even if they're breadwinner. And I guess in today's world, it's acceptable. You can't work as a team if the man's doing everything from head to toe and the woman is just getting her manicures done, makeup and everything, and you know, luxurious cars and bags and everything like that, where the man is working like non-stop in the background. And in that panel, many of the girls who raised their hand and agreed that this is the right move for that lady to get divorced. And that's not hardship. That's not like putting a woman down. Someone has to do the cleaning. Someone has to do, you know, looking after the kids. And I know I didn't show too much of the end of the video because it's just going to be a 15-minute video, and I don't want to record the 15-minute video. And whether it's a feminist or not, but like, alright, so you're not happy a man tells you X, Y, and Z, or, you know, to run the household, and you go for divorce just to, you know, you don't want any boss above you to tell you what to do. You be happy by yourself, but the kids is not happy. The kids needs two parents, regardless how happy or unhappy you are. The kid needs two parents. All right. So there's nothing much I could say here, but it's just to show that modern woman who doesn't want to do all of those. Alright, and they felt like, I mean, back in 1960s, then this is the end of the human revolution, if that's the case, because a man and woman gets married, you're married to your vows, right, till the day you die, and you're gonna do work together, thin and thick of life, and you're gonna work together in a certain goal. It cannot work if one of the parties is doing everything. And unfortunately, today's world, a woman has more roles, right, than ever than before. Before, it's a household, you know, doing domestic care. They don't have a job, unable to get a job. And then now we have a job. And now we have childcare subsidies and X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So you can't have everything, and what I'm saying right now is a wife, a mother, a career mother. That is like, and you know, it's hard enough. A man can be a good husband, a provider, and a father, right? And woman has those roles, and if they can't balance all of them, or actually, due to the cost of living, obviously a woman has to work, right? Nothing wrong with that. But providing a family nowadays is like, it's so impossible. No matter how much you make, it's still not enough. So essentially what I'm saying here is the fact that it's unfortunately, if this is what they think, then what's the point marrying them and giving them babies in today's world? Alright? Because what they're essentially going to go through is their social media and comparison to one or the other, who has a better house, who has a bigger car, and this is where it becomes a vanity. You know, in life, we have to go through everything in life. Whether we got to go through cancer together, whether we go through loss and grief together, whether we go through mental health together, whether we're going to have job losses together, whether we lost our house together, whether we be successful together, whether we're going to have a great bigger family together. Anything could be happen, right? And there's challenges all the way through. None of them are easy, unfortunately. Not like the one in the social media. But I think the easiest part is to borrow money from the bank and be a bank slave for the rest of your life. And maybe you start to realize, I can't keep it up, and you destroy the family. And because you're so focused on that lifestyle, you know, or wanting that lifestyle. There's no consequences for over borrowed money. There's no consequences. Let's just say you can't pay off your mortgage or X, Y, and Z. You don't go to jail. You don't get killed. You don't get disowned by the, like, really, really bad within the country. People say, oh, really? You got blacklisted. Oh, the bank confiscated. Oh, foreclosure. Yeah, I feel your pain, you know, cost of living, this and that. Like, everything is like that sort of motive. But if they try to do that back in their own country, you take out money, refinance or whatever, the extra money from their parents' family home. And if you can't pay that mortgage, whatever, they'll confiscate the family home. And how much of a disown that you're going to get. And unfortunately nowadays, a home should not be an investment. It should not be at all. A home should be you living in the house, a roof over your head. That's a basic quality of life. Unfortunately, we have foreign investors, and those can buy 2, 3, 4 or 10 houses without any consequences. And now the price has been jacked up, and international buyers as well. What's going to happen the next generation? We're not going to own houses. We're not going to have kids. We're not going to start family. This is the generation that we're in.